Okay, so I'm not going to pretend to be an expert in, like, how the selling of a company goes, but based on the news that we got yesterday, I feel like it's safe to assume that the Bay is closing down. Like, we're done, which is very sad. However, Canadian Tire has purchased the HBC stripes, and honestly, they had the opportunity to do the funniest thing as a Canadian company, and they absolutely fucking took it. The caption literally says, "Some things are meant to stay Canadian," which is a dig at the fact that the Hudson's Bay Company has been owned by an American for a very long time. But I I don't know how to properly articulate this and how I'm feeling right now. Who would have thought a video about the Bay would have made me tear up? As an avid Bay shopper, I am very heartbroken that, like, the department store in and of itself and what it is not going to be around anymore. And again, like I said at the beginning of this video, I'm not an expert on how these sales work. So, whoa. Maybe the stores will stay and they have some kind of agreement that they've made with Canadian Tire. They're paying $30 million for the Hudson's Bay Company stripes. I also heard that they might have also purchased the name Hudson's Bay Company, which makes me think that the company itself will live on under Canadian Tire because they also own, like, Sports Check, I believe Mark's Work Warehouse, I think Sporting Life. So while it might not live on a department store, based on what I've seen with how the sale worked to Canadian Tire, it seems like the company will still live. So, like, Canada's oldest company will still exist, but it looks like the department store aspect has gone. And that is very sad. I buy everything at the Bay. I have literally been an avid Bay shopper for as long as I can remember, despite the fact that we were loyal to Eaton's, but I was a small child when that place closed. So whenever my mom decided to finally start going to the Bay when Eaton's closed is whenever I started. So I might have been like 5 or 6. But, like, I've bought almost every single, like, dress, shoe that I needed for a special event at the Bay. I'd say like 80% of my wardrobe is probably things that I bought from the Bay. So I am very sad that no one saved it as it is. And I know that I was living in delusion, convincing myself that somebody would, because when I saw there were 17 bids, there was a woman in Vancouver that had said that she wanted to purchase and run like 25 stores. But I think that the selling of the name to Canadian Tire kind of solidifies for me that that's probably not going to happen. So now I really need to focus on not selling that charter. And I also hope that the Eaton Center keeps, like, the little plaques that they have. And that the Bay does the right thing and donates all of their artifacts, whether that's giving them back to the Indigenous communities that they belong to, or donating them to museums, because it would be awful if all of those pieces of Canadian history ended up in, like, private collectors' hands and potentially left the country. But yeah, this makes me happy, and the shade that they are throwing at the people that used to own the Bay that sold it to the Americans, we love you, Canadian Tire. Thank you for saving part of a Canadian institution. And again, as I'm not an expert, the Bay could maybe still exist. I have no idea. Literally, don't quote this as, like, proof that the Bay has shut down. I literally have no idea. I only know that the stripes have been sold, and I believe Canadian Tire also bought, like, some of their other, like, Hudson's Bay brands, but who knows? I need someone to just, maybe that's what I'll do over this long weekend, compile proper evidence on what the fuck is going on.